The story begins in a peaceful, quiet house, where we see a man named Peter repairing an old radio in the attic. His wife comes into the attic and tells him, "Dinner is ready. Leave it and come down in 15 minutes." Peter nods and gets back to his work. As he fixes the radio and plays it, the clock in his house suddenly stops ticking. From inside the radio, he hears a woman's voice telling him to be quiet. Terrified, Peter turns the radio off. When he turns it back on, he sees a woman's shadow standing in the attic. When he turns it back on, the woman disappears. The next time he turns the radio on, the woman comes running towards him and shouts, "Shut up." Terrified, Peter turns the radio off again to check what's going on. Peter turns on the radio once again, and this time the woman turns it off herself. As he walks back in fear, he trips over a toy. There is a noise and a man's body grabs him by the neck. Peter's wife also comes up to check on him, and then we hear her scream and the screen goes black. In the next scene we see Peter's daughter, Emma. She was a very good singer and had come to audition. However, due to her nervousness, she fails to sing a single word and leaves. Returning home, Emma's friend congratulates her on her audition, but Emma sadly tells him that she once again left the audition due to her nervousness. Her friend, Saba, tries to encourage her, and just then, Emma receives a call from her mother. Extremely nervous, Emma returns to her hometown with Saba. Her mother was admitted to the hospital with numerous injuries. Just then, the doctor arrived and asked Emma to meet him alone. He explained that her father had fallen down the stairs, causing a brain injury. A blood clot had formed in his brain. Consequently, his condition was critical. He was admitted to the ICU and had several broken ribs and bones. The doctor also revealed that Emma's mother also had injuries on her body, leading the doctors to believe that her father had tortured her mother, and that during the entire ordeal, Emma's mother had pushed her father down the stairs. Because of this, Emma's mother was also being kept under observation. Emma encouraged her mother, saying that her father was doing better. "You should stay in the hospital tonight," she said. "I'll take you home tomorrow." Emma's mom panics at the mention of the house. She tells her not to go home. She also tells her that Peter tried to kill her. But at that time your dad wasn't inside Peter. His soul was possessed by something else. Emma can't understand anything she's saying. Seeing Emma's mom frightened, Saba tells Emma that they should book a hotel. But Emma says, "No, we'll go home. I want to check what's there." Her mom, so nervous, returns home. Emma shows her friend her recording studio, explaining that she's been singing here since childhood, and that it's where she recorded her first song with her dad. She then takes Saba to the attic, her dad's secret place. His hobby was collecting and restoring old things, which he used to do there. Emma becomes extremely emotional watching all this. She tells Saba, "I can't believe Dad could even hit my mom." Saba reassures her, saying, "This is definitely a misunderstanding and will soon be cleared up." With that, he goes downstairs to prepare dinner. The typewriter starts working on its own and the word "help" appears on it. Panicked, Saba calls Emma, and they see that every food item in their house has gone bad. Emma thought her mother might have bought these items a long time ago. Saba goes to get food and Emma starts listening to a recording. Suddenly, the recording stops. Time stops as usual and the house falls into silence. The radio upstairs starts playing and a voice comes through Emma's headphones. "Be quiet, he's coming." Emma takes off her headphones and hears the radio's voice. Just as she was about to go into the attic and turn it off, a woman's soul turned off the radio and Emma was terrified. She was terrified. Confused, Emma turned on the radio and saw the woman's shadow standing in the room. As soon as she turned it off, the woman disappeared. She turned it back on and this time, seeing the woman approaching her, she turned it off. Frightened, Emma went downstairs to find Saba calling her. Before she could answer the call, her mobile phone battery died. Her landline was now working. She was terrified. She remembered the woman's voice. "Don't make a noise. He can hear." So she immediately picked up the landline and put it aside. As soon as she did this, a man's figure appeared before her and grabbed her by the throat. Then in the next second he released her and the spirit closed all the doors and windows in the house. Panicked, Emma tried to open a door, only to see the typewriter start working again with the words "help" written on it. Emma realized someone was trying to communicate with her. She restarted the typewriter. Before she could ask any questions, the man's spirit picked up the typewriter and threw it away. Just then, Emma saw the spirits of a woman and a child fleeing. Panicked, she ran upstairs to the attic and tried to open the window. During the process, her foot again hit a toy and the radio turned on. She saw a child's spirit quickly turn it off and run away. To find out what was going on, Emma turned on the radio again. She saw the spirits of the girl and child who were both trying to tell her to turn it off. But before she could do so, the spirit of the man attacked her, knocking her unconscious. As soon as Emma fell unconscious, the woman turned off the radio. As soon as Emma regains consciousness, she panics and goes downstairs, grabs her phone and locks herself in the studio. After charging her phone, she first tries to text Seba, but there's no signal inside. Seba is standing outside the house calling out loudly to Emma. Frightened, she leaves the studio and tries to call Seba, but she hears Seba's phone ringing from inside. Upon exiting, she sees Seba in the laundry, clutching his head. He had barely entered the house through the back door of the basement, and as soon as he entered, he started having a headache. Emma gestures for him to be quiet, picks him up and brings him into the room. Writing with a pen and paper, a nervous Emma tells him they can't talk here. Is anyone here? She asks Seba. Did you see anything? Seba tells her. His answer seemed strange to Emma, but she took him inside the recording studio. When she tried to play the women's voices from her recording, Seba couldn't hear anything. However, Emma could still hear them. This time there was a second voice in the recording suggesting that she was there. Hearing this, Emma panicked, and as she looked back, Seba had disappeared. When she emerged, Seba was in the living room, swaying strangely in a rocking chair. Behind the same chair, she also saw the woman, who signaled her to remain silent and then disappeared. When Emma approached Seba, one of Seba's eyes turned white, indicating that Seba had also been possessed by the man's spirit. Seba began attacking her, strangling her. Emma freed herself by slamming her leg against his. Terrified, Emma was now under attack. Just as he's about to attack, the radio comes back on, and a girl pushes Emma, causing her to fall, transporting her to another world. This house in the other world was exactly like her own. The girl was actually showing Emma a vision of her old life. Her mother was telling her to be quiet because her father, who didn't like their voices, was due to arrive shortly. He had lost an eye in the war, which made him constantly angry. The man whom the woman feared also enters this very scene. But she was so frightened that a plate fell from her hand and broke. The sound of this angered the man so much that he hit his wife hard as punishment. The girl who was watching all this stepped back in fear, and the radio, which was currently at Emma's house, dropped from her hand. The radio's sound only increased as the man's anger grew. The girl turned off the radio. She tried to turn it off, but the radio wouldn't turn off. In a fit of rage, the man tried to strangle his wife. When his daughter came to her rescue, her mother was already dead. The child had also been stabbed in the heart. The man held his daughter's throat, and before dying, he stabbed her. Watching all this, Emma began crying and screaming. Meanwhile, we see Emma emerge from her vision, where the possessed Seba had attacked her. She picked up a toy lying nearby, hit him on the head, and saving her life, ran back into the studio. When Seba followed her, Emma quickly left the studio, locked it and stood in another room, playing music to torment the soul of the man inside Seba. To protect herself, Emma had once again locked herself in the attic. Before leaving, she had also turned on all the appliances in the house so that their noise would create chaos in the house. Seba, who was extremely fed up with the noise, broke all the speakers in the studio and came out of the studio. He even came inside the attic. Emma was still harassing Seba, and Seba started having severe headaches. Before the man could let go of Seba's body, the lights went out and the house fell silent once again. Just as the man was about to attack Emma again, the radio automatically turned on, and the voices of his wife and son began to echo from within. The spirit was so tormented by these voices that he forgot to attack her and sat there, and Emma realized that this man hated the noise of his daughter and wife more than any other noise in the world. He hated their voices. Meanwhile, the girl and child appeared before Emma and grabbed her hands. They screamed so loudly that the man was devastated. Seeing them, Emma also began to scream with such force that the entire house reverberated and shook. Finally, exhausted by the noise, the man abandoned Seba's body and left. As soon as he left, the souls of his wife and son vanished. Emma understood that their souls had now returned to their true place, to heaven, where they should have been. Seba had also recovered, and Emma embraced him. A few days passed and the atmosphere at home improved. Emma's mom and dad also recovered and returned home, and they enjoyed a few days. During this time, Emma's mom told her, "The person who hit me that day wasn't your dad." Emma reassured her, "I know. I saw it was someone else." With that, she embraced her mom, and a few days later they both left. Emma had also thrown away the radio from her house. Another boy picked it up and sold it to an antique shop. This antique shop contained other antiques like this radio. Shortly after, a young woman also came to visit the antique shop. She took a picture of a portrait kept there. So the portrait pulls the girl in. The story ends with the suspense of what happened to her. Subscribe to Muvo Reels, where every movie tells its story again.